Press the record button. Awesome. Thank you. So, and Santiago for reminding me in the chat. Someone got their own music. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. I'm going to start because we don't wait for nobody. We start on time, even though it's like 3-4 minutes into it. I just want to say, first of all, again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, I don't just say that. Like, it's not just something I say off my tongue. It's something I truly mean. Like, it's 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody else, wherever you are in the world. I'm in Arizona, so it's 8 a.m. here, and it's a Saturday. You guys could literally be doing anything right now. I probably got 3-4 hours of sleep last night. I was just up doing my thing, and I was like, yo, and one of the topics that I'm going to talk about today is doing things even if you don't feel like it. And I'll get into that in just a second, but I didn't feel like getting up this morning and doing this call. A lot of people, I know the previous team calls, there's been more people on here. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is, we don't feel like doing things and we don't do them. And with business, with, whatever you're trying to achieve in life, that's not how it goes. Like, you have to be consistent. You have to get up even when you don't feel like it. But I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I want to get into, so we were supposed to have a special guest. She is actually working right now, and that's okay. She's going to hop on and share her story. Hopefully next weekend all will be good, but that's okay. I have like 5 people messaging me, don't forget to record it. That's awesome. I know a lot of people are working this morning as well, and that's okay. But other than that, guys, I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you on here. You guys are the true or real MVPs. So the first thing that I want to get into this morning, I wanted to talk about Instagram, mostly Snapchat, but I'll touch on Instagram as well. But I've been getting, like, no joke, I'll screenshot to you guys next time it happens. But like at the end of the day, how many people are adding me on Snapchat? I get 20 to 30 people. That's a decent amount per day. I do want to increase that number, but just per day, 20 to 30 people adding me on Snapchat. And it's just like, damn, that's a pretty good number, because that's potential leads, that's potential whatever. Now this call, I don't know if you guys are building, I don't know if you guys are just trading. Just have an open mind in general, because if you are just trading but you still want to get your 2 and free, this is a good way. Or just build your brand as an individual, get your name out there. This is a good way to do that. I actually earlier this week, not partnered up, but I am getting mentorship from somebody who actually gets the Facebook algorithms as they update the Instagram algorithms and knows a hell of a lot about Snapchat. And so I'll have weekly calls with him. I just had my first one yesterday. Blew my mind. So I'm going to share a little bit of nuggets from that call as well with you guys. And as I progress with it and evolve and get better, I want to share more with you so that you guys can really take advantage of the platform itself, because if you guys know how to use it, it can become a gold mine for you. So as far as Snapchat, I know some of you on this call know that I do use Tinder, and that's a lot of how I get my leads. And just potential people. And the number one thing that I say, I don't care what platform you're using, if you're using Tinder, if you're using Facebook, if you're using Bumble, whatever it is, if you can put in your bio your Snapchat for other people to see, that's perfect. That is perfect. And that's what I do. I have my Snapchat everywhere. I have my Snapchat on my Instagram, my Facebook bio, like anywhere that I have another social media platform, I'm always putting it out there. Even on my Facebook, if you scroll down, you'll see that I actually have my Snapchat picture as one of like my featured photos, and like it works. Like it seriously works. If you guys do that, that was one of the tips that the guy even gave me. He does it, and he said as soon as he did it, he had an immediate increase in the amount of people that were adding him. It was nuts. And so that's one thing that I can say. But as far as, you know, if you're messaging people on a separate platform, I like to personally funnel people to my Snapchat because I'm more open on my Snapchat. They can see my life. They can see my lifestyle. They can see what I do, not just like rah, 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 results, you know, me preaching to everybody on my Snap. For those of you who are on my Snapchat or see my Instagram story, it's more of like, look at my food. Okay, cool. You know, I'm at the gym. Okay, cool. You know, things like that. And they get to see like I'm a real person. And that's really important too. But the one way that I do that is when I'm going to break it down as far as like how I message people, because I know a lot of people, they'll set up kind of time aside every single day to message people and maybe get overwhelmed by the amount of messages or whatever it may be. And I used to do that, and I realized, you know, life is all about whatever works for you. This is what works for me. If what you're doing right now isn't working, maybe try it. If it doesn't work for you, do something else. I'm just trying to give you some advice and some, you know, guidance, and that has worked for me. But what I do is I don't really set aside a time. You know, I might in the morning say, all right, I'm going to just grab my phone. I'm going to do this for like 15, 30 minutes. And I'm just going to message people, and I'm going to put my phone down. Like I literally turn off all my notifications until I'm ready to go back in and look at my phone, because it's my life. Like this is my business, and I can't allow things like, I can't allow everything to overrule me. Cause like if you have 100 plus, 200 plus messages, you will get consumed by that. You have to go and study. You have to go and, you know, do your other things, your other priorities with your life. Like the messages will be there. The people will be there. If your content is on point, trust me, the people will be there. They're going to continue to come after you because it's like, damn, like, you know, what is this girl doing? What's this guy doing? Like, and you're being consistent about it. They're going to take note of that. They're going to be curious, and they're going to hit you up, you know, regardless of if you're paying attention to them, because they're paying attention to you. But I do come back to them. I don't ignore them. So I'll, you know, in the morning, I'll usually set aside some time, and I'm just like, all right, let me get in here. Usually for me, it's Tinder. It's super, super, super easy for me. I don't know about guys, but I'm going to say Bumble has worked. I have a couple people out here that use Bumble, and it's working for them phenomenally if you're a dude. I'm just saying that because it's like, I don't know. It's a little different from whatever reason, but if you're a guy and you want to try this out, maybe try Bumble or, you know, whatever other platform that comes to mind. But as far as funneling people to Snapchat, this is how I do it. And so I'll have on my bio kind of what I do. And I can screenshot you guys my bio in the chat if some of you guys, or individually if you guys would like to as well. But I'll basically message people. I'm just like, and I literally say, it's somewhat different, but it's about the same. I'll usually say, hey, you know, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. How are you doing? I'm literally super, super, super casual. What's going on? How are you? What's up? Where are you from? This, and that. And they'll message me back. I'll probably message them back once more, and I'll put my phone away. And I'll do that for like 20, 30, 40 plus people. And then I'll put my phone away. And then I'll go on with my day. Probably in the afternoon, I'll look back at the messages and I'll see, okay, shoot, I have like 20 plus, 30 plus messages I need to respond to. Plus I'm swiping right. So I have more people that I can message from there. And then I'm literally just responding to people. And I'll ask them a question. You always want to ask people questions because, one, you're doing this. I'm doing this because I want to connect with new people. Bottom line is, yes, I want them to join what I'm doing. Yes, I want them to get started. We have time towards the end. Flashcards, yellow, green, and red. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what it is. And so, so basically I will message them a question. You want to get to know them. I always tell people, they're like, so why are you on here anyway? Because Tinder, you know, it's not the most normal site for people to just be like, yo, yeah, I just want to connect with people. The platform kind of has a purpose, but it's okay. Like you can really be creative and do whatever you want with the platform. And I'll usually just say, oh, you know, my mentor always told me that your network is your net worth. And the fact that you never know who you're going to meet, you never know what you may learn. And that's so true. You really never know who you're going to meet. You really never know what you may learn. And now, you know, you can kind of funnel and filter out and qualify people as you go through Tinder. I've definitely had some weirdos. I just block them and I don't ever talk to them again. And you can see right away. Trust me. But the people that actually understand what you're there for and they're actually curious, and you make it well known at the beginning, that's fine. But I literally ask them a question. So I'll come back in the afternoon. I ask them a question. I'm like, yo, where are you from? Or what are you doing today? And then right after that, I said, by the way, do you have Snapchat? I do not want to have a conversation on Tinder. I want to get them on Snapchat as fast as possible. Like, I don't really even care about the conversation on Tinder because I want to get off of there. I want to get on to Snapchat. So that's my goal. Is I talk to them briefly in the morning, just say, hey, what's going on? How are you? Whatever. So I swipe right, whatever I want to say, and they'll probably respond. If they don't respond immediately, I'll message them back in the afternoon, and I'll say my thing. By the way, do you have a Snapchat? They'll say, yeah. Sometimes they'll send me their Snap code. I'm like, cool, and I'll add you. Sometimes they're just like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool, what is it? Or I'll just send them mine, add me. Be cool if you add me, whatever. And then in the evening, I'll go back. Like, this is like super, super simple, super, like, I'm not on there all the time. I'm not stressing about this. I'm just wanting them to get in my Snapchat. And then in the evening, I'll go back and I'll see, okay, cool. I got all these messages from people who said, yeah, add me on Snap, add me on Snap, add me on Snap. If they don't have Snapchat, I say, okay, cool, you have an Instagram, you have a Facebook, whatever. I don't want to be on Tinder. I want to get to a platform where they can see my content. That's the whole point, okay? And guys, don't do this if your content is not there. If you're only posting like once, or you're posting irrelevant stuff to what you're doing. Because like my mentor has always told me this, the fact that your content is your closer, in your inbox is kind of where you build a relationship. However, if you're taking notes, write this down. The one thing that the guy told me yesterday is, yes, your content is your closer. The moneymaker is more in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to bring it to Facebook really quick. You want comments. You want to be social. You want to be engaging with other people. And the one thing that I try to always tell the team is the fact that if you get a comment on your Facebook post or your Instagram post, I never really talk about Instagram, but Instagram or Facebook, you want to reply back to them. Why? One, because it's social media. Okay, social media. You want to be social. But it also increases your engagement. So say 4 people comment on your post and you reply to all 4 of them. Now you have 8 comments. Now it appears to seem like you have more engagement. But what that does within the algorithm, it's like, oh, okay, this post is more important. This post is this, and that. So it's going to boost your visibility on your timeline, and more people are going to be able to see it. Okay. There's so many different things that he was telling me. It's just like, wow. But I will get into a lot more of that on a different video. I'm just kind of pulling from things right now as I'm talking. But guys, for those of you who are stressing about talking to people, one, if your content is not there, you're going to have a hard time trying to get people to see this, okay? Like, your content has to show what you're about. I've said this before. Your social media is to document your transformation, okay? It is to document your transformation. So if you look at my profile from a year ago, you'd be like, wow, B, like, you got no likes, you got like no comments, and you can just see, and that's fine, but you can see how much I've grown, okay, this past year. By the way, for those of you who don't know, yesterday was my 1-year anniversary in IML. So I looked back, and I actually did look back and see, I was like, holy crap, like, you have come a long way. And it's really cool to see that for yourself even. And so with that being said, look at social media as just like your documentation, as a way to document your transformation, okay? Because that's it. And the other thing I want to say, because I've done this all the time, and it still kind of comes back up, and this is a little bit off topic, but focus on, and this is so cliche, but focus on the process, guys, okay? Like, as cliche as that sounds, focus on the process. Like, I always say, okay, have your goals, have your vision, that's cool, but it's the ambition that matters, not the actual achievement. Where you get all that, like, that butterflies, that good feeling, that fulfillment is through the process. It's through actually enduring what you're going after, because that's where you expand, that's where you grow, that's where you stretch yourself, and that's where you realize the real ones, the people that should be in your life when the outcome comes around. I've like experienced that just within the past 2 weeks. A lot has been going on in my personal life, and it's just like, wow, you really start to see people's true colors when times get tough, when you have setbacks, when life decides to just stomp on you, right? And you just don't know how to handle it. And that's when your emotional intelligence kicks in. You can really see people for what they really are. I know that's a little off topic, but it's something that's really been on my mind, and I really wanted to share it with you guys because I know we get so caught up with the result itself and the outcome, and actually, the goal as a whole, but really just focus on the process and just focus on getting better, 1% better every single day, because over an entire year, for me, a year ago, that's a 365% return. And if I focused every single day on getting 1% better, that's a 365% return. That's a pretty damn good return. We all know in Forex, it's not bad. That's not bad, So yeah, that's really what I wanted to say as far as Snapchat. The one thing I will say about Instagram, if you want to funnel people to Instagram, just get their Instagram name instead. If that's your thing, go ham on it. The one thing that I do like about Instagram, if you are taking notes, which I hope a lot of you are, which everyone is when you put up posts on Instagram, okay, always, I don't know what it's called, geotag or name the location, whatever it is, make sure you're always putting a location on there. I always put the location because more people view your story in that way. And I've actually had people hit me up based off of that tag. They're like, oh, hey, I found you off of the Arizona State University tag. And I was like, oh, no way. So that way I'm like, oh, shoot, like it's actually working. That's pretty cool. And they ask me about what I do. And then it's just like they end up coming to the meetings. And it's like, that was so simple. All I had to do was just put a tag up. People notice how many people watch. Like I literally go from 100 people watching my story to nearly 500 people because I put up a tag. That's crazy, okay? So make sure you guys put those tags like every single post. And you know how I know this? I mean, he told me, the guy I'm getting mentorship from told me this, but I've been like, just observe other people who are winning, who have the results that you want. Austin Godsey, what does he always do? If you watch his stories, he's always putting a tag. He's always showing where he is. And I bet you like he's getting 10 times more the amount of people watching him. And that's good. So that's kind of the last thing I want to say. If you guys want to touch more on that, we can do a separate call. I know Abu was talking about it previously. I think a call like that would be awesome. But we'll touch on that on a different call. And then the second thing I want to talk about is Chris Derrick's new site and why getting your 2 and 3 is so important. So for everyone on this call, we are all on Chris Derrick's team, which is a plus. That's good. Number 2, he's coming out with a new site. He's been talking about this for about a month now, like actually on a serious note. And this site, I was fortunate and privileged enough to see it the other day. We do it. So he lives about 5 minutes away from me, for those of you who don't know. And we do events actually at my apartment in the lobby. Super, super convenient for me. But we meet up, and I talked to him a couple times throughout the week. And he actually pulled me aside yesterday. He was like, Gabby, come check this out. He was showing me some of the site, and I was like, bro, like my jaw was dropping. I was like, Julian, I was like, holy crap, like this is a game changer. I was like, this is so cool. And just like, there's so much stuff that's going into it. But the one thing I want to say is he's going to be giving out his own signals. He's never done this. He's never really actually done this. And this is why I'm so excited, because for those of you who know Chris Derrick, who watch his London session, who even watch his basic session, like, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like just a month ago, he flipped a $187 account to about $48,000. The number is roughly 50 grand, something like that, within a matter of days. Okay, so he knows what he's doing, and it's not just like he's done this one time. He's done this multiple times. I think he was in Costa Rica, and he flipped some account into 30K, right? So it's multiple occasions, and he's consistent about it. That's what I'm excited about, because not only are we going to be getting his signals, no, not off a point at one, but you will get to a point where he's at. That's the goal. That's the vision. And that's what we need to keep striving for. Okay, Chris Derrick has been trading for a little over 2 years. I'm not going to say he's perfect by any means, but he knows what he's doing to a certain degree. Yeah. And you can learn a lot from him. That's what we want to focus on. It's not, I'm giving you the money example as an example, okay? Just to give him some credibility. But the fact of the matter is, we're all learning, and we can take signals from him. And what's more important with that is the fact that you can learn from his signals, because he's going to give the educational reasoning behind it. And that's the most important thing. There's a lot of stuff that's going into it. I'm not going to go into it right now. But when the site drops, just know that it's going to be heavy. But that's why I want to bring this into picture. Getting your 2 and free is important. 1, you cannot have access to the site unless, 1, you're on his team. Luckily, we are. 2, you have your 2 and free, or if you're an IBO, you are Plot 150 and above. Okay, this is why this is so important. So if you are wanting to be a part of his site, wanting to see what he's doing, whatever it is, like there's so much more than just the signals and the educational reasoning behind it. Like I've seen it, guys. Like it is like mind blowing what is on there. So 2 and free, and yeah, so that's important. But also, what's important more than just that, this is the example that I give to a lot of people who, maybe are struggling to get their 2 and free, or maybe don't want to, and that's fine. If you don't want to, that's totally your choice. But maybe you're struggling, and I like to give this perspective to people, and the fact that, the person that asked you, that brought this to your attention, say it was a month ago, say it was 6 months ago. For me, it was a year ago. It was a little over a year ago. I was just kind of stubborn in saying yes. Anyways, say it was, some time before you started, and, you finally said yes. And say, I'm just going to give you an example. Say in 6-8 months, you just started today. You're able to quit your job completely. That's your goal. Like, that's something that you're trying to work towards. And you're able to have the time of financial freedom that you've always wanted. And, say you're able to start up that business venture in a year from now, 2 years from now, whatever it may be, I don't know the time frame, just giving you guys an example. Say if that person never reached out to you, right? Never introduced you to something like this. Nobody never introduced you to something like this. Then you wouldn't be in that position. You wouldn't be able to do those things. And then you wouldn't be able to share this with other people, because I'm telling you guys, a lot of people on this call know there are people out there that are struggling for no reason. They are struggling for no reason. Like, would you rather learn a skill set for 12, 18, 24 months that will pay you for a lifetime, or work 40, 50 plus years for the rest of your life for somebody else? The choice is yours, okay? Choice is yours. I'm not going to say there's any right or wrong answer. It's whatever you want. But anyways, so yeah, and what I'm trying to say is your 2 and free is important because there are people out there struggling for no reason, and you have the solution. You have the education. The fact of the matter is, people do not do something like this, or are not successful, or not happy or fulfilled, or whatever it may be in life, because they lack the awareness, they lack the education to be able to tackle something like this, to be able to be successful in something and provide for their family, provide for their future, whatever it may be. So with that being said, just understand that you're giving them so much more. Like this isn't just a personal, okay? This isn't just, okay, I got to get my 2 and free. Like, this is somebody you can lock arms with and study with. Like, I live with Alex. She was supposed to do the call the other day. Guys, we're going to get you the call. Don't worry. But living with her and having a community around me in Arizona of like-minded people, like-minded traders, goal-oriented kind of people, like, that is powerful. That's another reason why, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, that's another reason why I like to go to events, is because, maybe you hear some things for, for the 3rd, 4th, 5th time, right? That doesn't matter. You hear it in a different way. And every time I read a book, I read it for the 3rd, 4th time, I always see something in a different way, or I see it in a different way, whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. You are who you associate yourself with. And going to events and being in those environments, even though I heard the presentation downstairs in the events, even though I've heard the presentation over and over and over again, I still am in that energy. I'm still around those people, that vibe, that I can really get their energy. If maybe I'm having a bad day, maybe I'm not feeling a certain way or whatever, or maybe I just need to get a little bit inspired, right? I can go and be around people who are already energetic, who already feel that way, and I can get their energy and I can feel that same way. Guys, it's so important. But kind of going off topic, but I'm telling you guys, if you guys are having not a problem, but are struggling to get your 2 and free, just share your vision, guys. Just share your story. Why did you even make the decision in the first place to do this? Why? Like, my original decision in doing this was the fact that I was in over 100,000 student loan debt, and I needed a ticket out. And I saw that this was my ticket out. I came into this money oriented. I was like, yeah, I gotta make this money right now. And I soon realized that after getting slapped around by the market, multiple times that was not how this was. And so I preach to people in the chats on these calls that it's all about mindset. And if you don't get your emotions underway, you won't be successful. You won't be consistently successful with this. So with that being said, 2 and 3 is very important. And the last thing that I really want to touch on is you can't expect to be successful and smash your goals if you only want to work on the days you feel like it. That's kind of what I was talking about this, when I first got on the call. I got a few hours of sleep last night, like a few hours of sleep. And I did not want to wake up this morning and get on the call. And like, I'll just be honest with you guys. But that was just my emotions. That was just me being tired. I want to be here. But sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us. And we can't have that. Like, life is emotional. Life rewards the emotionally intelligent people, the people that can hone their emotions, okay? You have to be rational. Majority of the time, people are irrational. They don't reason with things, and that's no bueno. But guys, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, do you want to be successful? Like, ask yourself, when you made that decision to do this, okay, whatever your goals are, and something comes up in your life and you're just like, oh, I don't want to do this, or, something traumatic happens, or, whatever, a setback happens to you, or, you just wake up and you're just like, you just don't wake up on the right side of the bed, or you don't have that energy, whatever it may be. You have to go back to that reason why. Like, I could show you guys, look, have whiteboards, 5 whiteboards in here, okay? And in my room, I have my why, my daily priorities, and my statement. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this written down so that I can see it, because it's right when I wake up. You guys don't have to be, you guys don't have to get whiteboards like that. I just have it because I'm kind of crazy. I'm just kidding. But because I want to see it, have something somewhere so that you guys can see why you do it, okay? You have to be around the energy. As soon as I wake up, I'm playing some kind of music. I'm playing some kind of audio to get me in that vibe, right? You guys have to feel good. Crazy. You guys have to feel good about what you're doing, okay? You have to feel it. So if I don't feel good, I'm going to do something that's going to make me feel good. What's that quote? It's like, motion creates emotion. Motion creates emotion. So if you're sitting there and you're sulking and you're upset and you're, whatever, you're into yourself, you're depressed, whatever it may be, you're going to continue to feel like that until you move, until you get up, until you do something different, okay? Yesterday, I wasn't feeling too hot. So what did I do? I actually called a friend of mine and we talked. And that was good for me. And I got out and I was doing my thing and it was awesome. Like, I felt honest to God, like I felt so much better after that, okay? Like, honest to God, I felt so much better after doing that. And it's just about moving. It's just about getting into a different emotion, into a different vibration within yourself, okay? That's so, so important. But guys, you have to remember why you started this in the first place. You have got to remember why you started this in the first place. Because if you don't, you're just going to quit. You're going to fall behind. You won't be consistent. Consistency will make or break you with this. You have to learn how to be consistent and get back to that reason why you started in the first place. And if you guys don't have your why written down, please write it down. It's not for us, it's for you. Because you have to see where you're going with this. You have to have that vision, right? I want you to imagine, I'm going to talk about Vegas really quick and I'm going to end it. Vegas. Like, guys, like, I'm not just preaching this because all of the top earners are saying it, all the top leaders are saying it. Like, I'm serious. There are people on this call. There are people on this call that went to the event in Houston, that went to the event in Orlando, that went to the event in Atlanta, that went to the event in Dallas of this year, okay? These events, there's a reason why people go. There's a reason why the top leaders, the top income earners in this company go to these events, okay? And they're not, like, now I've liked how they kind of do a 2-day thing. Actually, Vegas is going to be a 3-day, but they split it up. So it's like, I think one day is a trading session day, and then the next day is like more of a leadership day. Both days you can get a lot of value out of it. Even if you're not building, you can appreciate the mindset and you can take that with you wherever you go in life. That's so important. I'm jumping back on. But anyways, guys, Vegas is so important because, like I said, that vibe, that energy, those people that you're around, you cannot replace that. Okay, there's no replacement for actually being there. Like, I bought my ticket to Vegas when I was in Houston. Like, the day they were like, all right, they're on sale. I went and I bought my ticket. And just made it happen. Like, don't say, I had a call with somebody the other day. It was actually yesterday, and they were like, we were talking about Vegas and everything. And he was like, yo, yeah, I'm going to leave it off with this after this story. He was like, yo, I'm like 60% sure I'm going to go. And I was like, 60%? I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, yeah, I just don't know. I want to go, but just giving me excuses, right? And I was like, all right. And so we were talking, and we got into it. And then he asked me, Abby, when did you get your ticket? Like later on in the conversation. And I was like, oh, I got it the first day. And he was like, wow, really? And I was like, yeah, man, like, I'm serious. Like, it's already done. Like, I'm already there. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I know how I'm going to get there, but I don't know how it's all going to play out, but I know why. I know. I don't have to know how. I had to just know. I know why I'm going to be there. I know why I have to do this. Okay. If I don't go, how can I expect the team to go? As a leader, you have to step up and do what leaders do. Okay. But we were talking about it, and I was just like, say his name is John, right? His name's not John, but say his name's John. I was like, John, imagine yourself. You're getting off the plane, right? You're getting off the plane. You just flew to Vegas. You're getting off the plane. I want you to imagine. You have to visualize this stuff, okay? You're getting off the plane. You're wearing these 6 shades, like 6 shades. You're wearing this tight suit. You're stepping off the plane. You got your luggage, whatever. You're walking down. You get it. You get a ride to the hotel, and you meet up with the team. And we're all there. We all look classy as hell. Like, all these things. I'm just painting a picture for him, and he's getting excited. He's like, rah, rah, rah. He was like, you're right. You're right. And I was like, bro, I decided. I declared that I was going. Like, as soon as I bought my ticket, like, in my mind, before I even bought my ticket, I was like, I'm going. But when I bought my ticket, it was like declaring that I was going. Like, the universe and I already made a deal. Like, it's done. What I want is done. Now I just got to put in the work. Be consistent about it. I think people don't make decisions because, not that they're lazy, but it could be a lazy factor. It could be because they're apathetic, but also because I don't think people want to take responsibility. And I think that's a huge factor because in life, what was it? I have it written right here. Thank you, Edwin. You told me this. You guys can read that. It says, new levels bring new devils. Okay? You've never gone to an event before. You've never ranked up before. You've never done this. You've never done that. But you cannot get to a new place in life. You guys all want to level up. You guys all want to get to a different place. But you cannot get to a new place if you don't take responsibility for where you are right now and take responsibility and ownership of where you want to go. Like, that's just the beast. Like, that's just how it is. Okay? If you got, like, all of you, if you're actually serious about this, you need to be in Vegas. And I'm telling you, this isn't just for the builders. I'm telling you, like, I learned so much from the trading session. It was ridiculous. I took so many notes. I recorded like half the thing on my phone. Okay. And I still replay it because it was just that good. Like, you get to learn from Christopher Terry on the spot, talking. Some of the most elite professional traders on the spot. How could you miss that? And if you're, and I want to say, and if you're leading, your business or whatever, you cannot expect your team to go at all if you're not there. You can't expect your team to do anything that you don't do. Okay, it's just important. But guys, if you're contemplating Vegas, I want you to visualize it. I want you to visualize and imagine yourself already there. Universe works in a crazy way. I don't know what it is, but it works in a crazy way. There's laws to this. There's levels to this shit, man. But just, you're already there. Okay. Anyways. That was my call. That was the call. I hope you guys got some value from it. I'm not going to go on any more tangents. But if you guys have some questions, there's like 3 minutes left. Feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Just had a question about those flashcards. They look pretty nice back there.
That's just the IML TV sessions. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, I prioritize a few IML TV sessions, and sometimes I forget. But I have them on the wall right there for me to remember.
Sweet.
Yeah. So do what you got to do. But yeah, y'all have any other questions? Anything else you want to say? We Gucci? Absolutely. And I recorded it. So I'll be sending it out for those who ask me to. I appreciate you guys, like sincerely appreciate you guys for hopping on. And those of you who consistently hop on, like it shows. People who show up will go up. I promise you that. And I don't just do these calls for moi. I don't need to get on the camera and talk for myself. I do these calls for you guys and some of the challenges that I see throughout the week and want to bring them up and talk about them and kind of give you guys a solution and maybe a different perspective on how you've been viewing it. But anyways, guys, I totally appreciate you being on here. I'm very, very grateful. And I will talk to you guys soon. You have a great day.